Hello boyos, Rich Boy J here back in with another video, and this is going to be episode 27 of Your Questions Answered. If you're not familiar with it, Your Questions Answered is a Q&A series I do here on this channel. If you want to see your questions answered in the videos, just drop in the comment section below. Make sure it is Lego Star Wars or Lego Star Wars related, and then check back next week to see if you make the cut. I want to give very special thanks to Galactic Breaks for the intro he created for this week. It is, I think, easily probably my favorite intro that has ever been created for this series. So I just want to say thank you so much for that, dude. It is awesome. I love it. I keep watching it. It is really freaking cool. And if there's anyone else who would like to see their own custom intro at the front of one of these videos, please, you're more than welcome to send it to me as an unlisted YouTube video. Be creative with it. Be funny with it. Do whatever you want. Just make sure, obviously, it's appropriate for the channel and appropriate for one of these videos. So definitely do that. I urge all of you to contribute to it somehow. I think it's been really cool. I've gotten a lot of support in regards to that, and I'd like to continue that moving forward. So thank you, Galactic Breaks, as well as everyone else who has submitted a custom intro. First question today is going to come from I Love Friday, don't we all? He says, what are you hoping the next Lego Star Wars game will be? This is a great question because where are the Lego Star Wars games? We got the Force Awakens game, but since then, Lego Star Wars games have been absent, which is very disappointing because I always love seeing Lego Star Wars games. I love seeing the Lego rendition of all of our favorite Star Wars movies. I think the Force Awakens one was not amazing. Like, I think they tried to go a little too far with the humor, and I definitely think having them speak probably detracted from that a little bit, but nonetheless, I still did enjoy the game, and I do want to see them make more of them. Insofar as what am I hoping they do, ideally, they would just do another game that would be, I guess, after episode 9, and then they can incorporate all the new movies that have come out, so it'd basically be, you know, 7, Rogue One, 8, Solo, 9, all in one game. What I can more realistically see them doing is still a game based on 7, 8, and 9, so it'll be like Lego Star Wars, the sequel trilogy, and then they'd probably have like special side missions based on Solo and Rogue One. But I would particularly be interested in like how they would incorporate Rogue One into that game, because I think that playing out a Lego version of Scarif would be freaking awesome. So I would love to see that at some point. So yeah, let's continue with the Lego Star Wars games, guys. Next question is by eBrick Studios. He says, nice, do you think the 20th anniversary minifigs will be limited edition minifigs, such as there will only be 1 per 5 sets or something like that? They look amazing. If you guys aren't familiar with it, because it is the 20th anniversary of Lego Star Wars, Lego is going to be pre-packaging some anniversary minifigures in certain sets throughout the April wave. And for what I've heard, it's not going to be like a limited thing. Like, they're like every set will have one of the limited figures. And I do also think that like they basically have allotted a specific figure to a specific set, so it's not like you're gonna have to, you know, buy a bunch of sets to be able to collect them all. You'll know which figure comes in which set, which is nice. I don't want to have to be buying multiples of sets on the off chance that I might end up with all the figures. But the one that I am super excited about is the Lando figure. So apparently we're getting the original Cloud City Lando in one of those sets, and obviously he's probably gonna have the 20th anniversary thing on his back. That seems to be the trend that they're going for, which is fine. I figure that this will allow me as a collector to add him to my collection, and I'd probably want to pick up 2 of them. I'd keep one as a 20th anniversary version, but I would also get another to substitute for the original one that came in the Cloud City set. It's a super expensive figure. The cape alone can run you like $60 or $70, and that's in decent condition. So if I were able to get that figure, I would either just erase the back off of it, and that would most likely make it very similar to the original, and if that doesn't work, then I would just buy the torso. The torso isn't super expensive from the original, but the cape is. So if it's the original cape, I am all in on this. It will save me a lot of money in trying to collect all the minifigs, and I'm still holding out hope that we get some sort of like Cloud City Boba Fett original sometime this year in some way. So I'm hoping on that, and it'll save me a lot of money for my minifig wall. Next question is by Internet Man. He says, do you think people are getting overly critical within the fandom of both Lego Star Wars and Lego Star Wars? Absolutely. I threw this question in here because it's something that I've been thinking about a lot recently, and I don't know if it's just because of like the way things function now. Like it seems like we hear a lot more criticism because we're all connected to each other much more often, but it does seem like whenever something new, especially with Star Wars and even Lego Star Wars is announced, like people's initial inclination is to be negative about it in some way. And I'm not saying you can't be negative about it. Like, there are plenty of things Lego could be doing better, and I have certainly been critical of them myself. Hashtag justice for Jen. But I think generally, like, it's okay to appreciate the good things as well. Like, a lot of people were very critical of the Lucius Cloud City set, and I was really shocked by that, just because, oh, I'm sorry, the Master Builder series Cloud City set. I hate having to say that. But a lot of people were critical of it, and I mean, I didn't really understand why. Like, it gave us all the figures that we wanted, absent an accurate Leia, but that's a story for another day. But generally, we got the updated Cloud City Lando. We got the Cloud City Luke that we have been wanting. We got that amazing Han Solo figure. There were so many amazing things about that set, yet people seem to kind of hone in on some of the nuances, and they thought it was, generally not a good set, or they didn't like that it was a play set. They wanted more of a display set. I've already done a video on that. You guys can go look at that. But in general, yeah, Lego isn't perfect right now. There are certainly things that they can be doing better. But it seems like people are kind of willing to gloss over that, and they're more willing to hone in on the negative. And when it comes to just Star Wars in general, I think that is absolutely true. Like, obviously, there are a lot of people who aren't happy with what's going on in Star Wars, and that's fine. Like I said, you're allowed to be critical. But I do feel like the new films and Disney in general gets unfairly criticized. Like, certain things that we excuse the prequels and even the original trilogy for, we criticize the sequels for. So I think we can be a little bit better about that. I mean, these movies are not perfect, but I find myself over defending them just from people who are unfairly critical of them. All I ask for is we be fair with our criticism. So that's really all I have to say about that. I think that's a good talking point for the comment section. Do you also feel like people are being overly critical? Overly critical. Obi-Wan was overly critical. Are we being Obi-Wan tier, guys? Are we being overly critical on Lego Star Wars? Let me know in the comment section. Next question is by Brickmaster Z. He says, do you think it would be cool if they put an unfinished Episode 1 C-3PO in the new Pod Racer set? So the rumors are telling us that we're not going to get that, which is very disappointing because we have never gotten a single prequel C-3PO. I don't think a lot of people have realized this, but we have never gotten a C-3PO in a prequel set whatsoever. It kind of makes sense because C-3PO doesn't do a ton of stuff in the prequels, but when we think about just how many C-3POs we get in all the other original trilogy sets, and the fact we've even gotten, the poly back from The Force Awakens, yet up to this point, he still has not appeared in a prequel set. It is very surprising. I mean, he has basically 3 unique versions in each movie, and we haven't gotten a single one of them in Lego, which is quite disappointing. So I'm hoping that sometime down the line, we'll get the Episode 1. That's the most unique looking one, obviously, because he's unfinished. But the Episode 2 one, he doesn't have his gold plating yet. He's very rusted out and a dirty looking droid. So it'd be nice to get that one. And then of course it would be nice to get an Episode 3 one with where he's all gold and shiny and he doesn't have his silver legs. So I would appreciate any one of those, and all 3 of them would be even better. So I don't know, what would it take at this point for Lego to make a prequel C-3PO? I don't know. It's weird that we haven't gotten it yet. So we'll see. We'll see. Next question comes from Batarang. He says, do you think a new 9-Num or Sullivan figure should have a new head mold or be printed on a face with a helmet piece? That's a good question because all the Sullivan figures that we've gotten up to this point have had some sort of pilot helmet, so it'd be nice to get a more generic looking Sullivan, and specifically 9-Num, since for some reason we still haven't gotten him, yet we've gotten multiple 10-Nums, but that's another story. As for which one I think it would look best as, a helmet or a custom headpiece, I think that just a normal a head mold that would go over the Lego head would look fine. If you take a look at the way they made him in the Force Awakens video game, you can see I think it's a pretty good representation of 9-Num. I don't think it's very necessary for them to do just a custom head mold altogether. And of course, making it like this would allow you to be able to take off his the top, the hat mold, and then put on a pilot helmet mold, so it can work both ways. You wouldn't need 2 different molds to be able to have pilot 9-Num and just casual 9-Num. So I think that having the regular Lego head with a headpiece over it would probably be ideal for that. Next question comes from RB Customs. He says, what's your favorite Order 66 death? That's an awesome question. So if we're talking about which one I actually like, I'm probably going to go with Ki-Adi-Mundi. I thought that one probably had the most emotional weight. I do also like the Plo Koon death because it's the most believable one. I'm not buying that the clones could have so easily just pulled up and shot at Jedi. Jedis deal with many lasers coming at them with ease from the battle droids pretty often, so I don't understand why it was so easy for the clones to kill them. But the Plo Koon one, him getting shot out of the air, makes the most sense to me, so I think I like that one from just a logical standpoint. But for comedic value, I easily gotta go with the Aayla Secura death. Final question is going to come from Drink Tea Lego. He says, awesome vid, man. My question is, are you ever going to buy the UCS Falcon? I'm really looking forward to what your answer is, since you already have a custom Falcon. Keep up the great work. Your Vardos mock is yeet. Thank you very much, Drink Tea. So as for whether or not I'll get the UCS Falcon, I think when I was initially kind of deciding if I would get it, and this was before they had unveiled it, because I knew that it was coming out, but just didn't know what it would look like. My decision was, look, I will keep my Falcon, and we'll see what the UCS one looks like. If the UCS one is what I feel is better than mine, I will part mine out, just use the parts for something else, buy the UCS one, everything will be fine. Otherwise, I will keep mine, and then I'll buy the UCS one just to have in my collection, because it's obviously a big, iconic Lego set. At this point, I'm honestly not sure if I'll get it. Like, I mean, it's obviously a lot of money. Like, even for me with my discount, it's still a decent amount of money from working at the Lego store. So I think what I would honestly probably prefer to do is take that money and put it towards doing a custom version of like the Kessel Run Falcon. I think that would be fun. This is not a project I will take up anytime soon, but just thinking about it from like a long-term perspective, I don't know how much it would mean to me to just have the UCS Falcon sitting in a box somewhere in my collection. Like, I'd rather use that money towards something that I'll actually build and something that will be different than what I already have. So Kessel Run Falcon would definitely fit the criterion. So I don't know, you guys may see a Kessel Run Falcon from me at some point, but that is very much so down the line. But that's going to finish up the video today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed your questions answered. If you want to see if your questions are going to be in these videos, obviously, like I said, put in the comment section, make sure it's Lego Star Wars or Lego Star Wars related. Check back next week to see if you make the cut. And of course, I can't stress this enough, send me your custom intros. I love having them in these videos. It is fun for me to see what you guys come up with, and it can be used as exposure for you guys as well. So it's a win-win situation for both of us. Like I always say, if you like what I do, go ahead and support the video by hitting the like button, support the channel by smashing that subscribe button, and I will be back again very soon.